You know that feeling, right? That little moment of dread every single Photoshop user has felt. You get a file from a client, or maybe a teammate, or you just downloaded a new template. You open it up, and your heart just sinks. You're staring at this massive, chaotic layers panel, and there's only one thought running through your mind.
Exactly. We've all been there. It's that universal, painful moment that you know is the start of a long, tedious job of just trying to figure out what in the world is going on inside this file. You know the drill. You start that manual, soul-crushing process of expanding every single group. You're clicking on every layer, toggling that little eye icon on and off, just trying to build some kind of mental map of the chaos. It's slow, it's frustrating, and honestly, it's a huge waste of your creative energy.
But what if you could just skip all of that? What if you had a tool that could scan the entire file, kind of like a doctor using an X-ray, and give you a complete diagnostic report before you even have to touch a single layer? Well, that is exactly what we're looking at today.
Now, let's be clear, this isn't some heavy, complicated plugin you have to install and manage. No way. It's just a lightweight and, most importantly, a completely safe, read-only script. It scans your PSD, it generates a clean little text file with everything you need to know, and it never, ever modifies your original file. It's just pure information delivered instantly.
So what kind of intel does this X-ray vision actually give you? Let's dive into some of the most common and most painful problems this script solves. We're about to see how it turns hours of guesswork into just seconds of pure clarity.
Okay, this one is a biggie. You're working on a template, or you've got that client file, and you need a complete list of all the fonts being used. Here's the catch. Photoshop has no built-in button for this, and a single missed font can totally break an entire design, which is a massive risk.
So the old way is just awful, right? You're clicking every text layer, one by one, desperately hoping you don't miss that one tiny caption that's buried inside of 5 nested groups. The script, on the other hand, does a full scan of every single editable text layer in seconds and spits out a flawless, comprehensive list.
And boom, this is what you get. No more hunting, no more guessing. Just a simple, clean list like you see right here. You know exactly which fonts are in the file, so you can install them, package them up, or document them for a client with 100% confidence. Problem solved.
All right, let's move on to the next challenge, colors. You need to get the exact original colors from a design so you can use them in your CSS or maybe another project. But just grabbing the eyedropper tool, well, that's basically a recipe for disaster. Why? Because you're going to miss things.
Think about it. The eyedropper only samples what you can physically see and click on. It's not going to tell you the precise color value of a drop shadow, or an outer glow, or a color overlay that's buried deep inside a layer style. This script performs a deep scan. It pulls colors from everywhere. Text, shapes, strokes, shadows, giving you the true, complete palette. And here's where it gets really powerful. The script doesn't just give you a list of hex codes, it gives you context. Look at this. It tells you how many times each color is used and even where, like body text or background accent. For developers and designers building out a design system, this is absolute gold.
Oh man, we've all opened a file like this. A layers panel that just looks like a war zone. You've got groups with no names, layers that are hidden, some are locked, others are clipped. It's totally impossible to know what's important and what's just digital junk left behind by someone else.
So instead of manually hunting for all those tiny little icons in the layers panel, the script gives you an instant health check of the entire file. In one quick glance, you know exactly how many layers are visible, hidden, clipped, or locked. No more surprises, and no more broken exports because of some stray hidden layer you missed.
Okay, so the crucial point here is how this all moves from being just a cool tool to something that fundamentally changes your daily workflow. This isn't really about the features themselves. It's about saving time, cutting down on errors, and being able to work with way more confidence.
Let's walk through a classic scenario. A client sends over this super messy file and asks for just a few small changes. Instead of that initial panic, you just open it, you run the script, and within seconds, you've got a complete report. You literally become an instant expert on their file.
And this is the huge professional benefit. You can go back to that client and say, okay, so your file uses these 3 fonts, but 2 of them are flattened and can't be edited. It also has 5 hidden layers we need to deal with. You're speaking from a position of authority, backed by hard data, not just guesswork. That's how you build trust.
So you might be asking, who is this script really for? Well, this isn't just for one type of user. It's a serious workflow accelerator for pretty much anyone who deals with PSDs on a regular basis.
For instance, if you're a template creator, this is your new best friend for quality control. If you're a developer, it's basically a spec sheet that gives you the exact fonts and colors you need for CSS. For a designer, it's your secret weapon for understanding any file thrown at you. And for print professionals, it's an instant way to verify resolution and color mode. It has a real, tangible benefit for so many different roles.
And if you're wondering about the practical stuff, it honestly couldn't be simpler. First, it is 100% safe and read-only. It will never ever damage your file.
Second, there's zero installation. You just browse for the script file right inside Photoshop. And third, it's incredibly compatible, working on everything from the ancient CS6 all the way up to the latest Creative Cloud versions.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Just imagine a workflow where that initial feeling of dread when opening a complex file is totally gone and replaced by instant understanding and confidence. What could you accomplish with all that time and energy you'd save? That's really the power of having X-ray vision for your Photoshop files.